Hi, I am Dr. Karen Dixon, Assistant Dean in the College of Arts and Sciences. I have created this presentation to help you learn how to be more successful on the many tests that you will take in college. This video will discuss the types of tests you will take in college, present strategies for more effective study, show you how to reduce test-taking anxiety, and explain how the test-taking experience can help you improve your study skills. Because many of your tests in college will cluster around certain times in the semester, planning when and how to study is a key to success. By the end of this video, you will learn how to use your study plan to reduce test anxiety, to improve your test performance, and how to use the test-taking experience to improve how you study. College-level test-taking is the most common way to demonstrate what you have learned. Your college exams will most likely include multiple choice, short answer, essay, and open book exams. Final exams in early December may be cumulative, covering a full semester and as much material as you studied in an entire year in high school. But no matter what the type of exam, your goal will be the same: to show that you have mastered the content, understand its importance, can use the knowledge or skill in new settings, and build on this foundation. Planning for study is very important. After just 1 week, we forget as much as 75% of what we have read in a textbook or heard in a lecture. So frequent review is a key to test preparation. Each day, spend 15 minutes reviewing your notes from lectures and assigned readings. Do this as soon as you can after class so that you can fill in any missing information in your notes or add to your text notes any important points from the lecture. Each week, review all of your notes from each class that week for about 1 hour. Use this time to write a few practice test questions or to prepare study review sheets, which we will discuss in just a few minutes. Review for a major test should begin at least 2 weeks before the test. Collect practice test questions and your study review sheets and get together with your study group to exchange study review sheets, practice teaching each other, and to take a practice test and share the results. When you are studying for an exam, your goal is to learn information in a way that allows you to remember it easily. Cognitive research has shown that we remember information best when we learn it in a meaningful way. To make the information meaningful, we need to process it in some way. Each of the active study tools listed in this slide requires that we condense information, put it into our own words, and use it in new ways. Let's look at each tool. The goal of a study review sheet is to reduce the information from a chapter or a unit to a single page. This helps you to sort out the main ideas and concepts from the supporting details and examples, to paraphrase what you've learned, and to organize it in a way that is easy to review. You may be familiar with the Cornell method of note-taking from another video in this series or from your previous experience. This example shows you how to format the study review sheet using the Cornell method. The Q column on the left will be used for keywords and phrases and study review or practice test questions. The larger column to the right is used to paraphrase the key ideas, concepts, and other material you need to learn. The space at the bottom is used to summarize the major concepts and to show how they are related. You can review by covering up the right-hand column and then quizzing yourself on the keywords and questions in the Q column. A concept map or visual organizer is another way to format a study review sheet. In this example, the quadrants of the square help you to remember the 4 key concepts about test preparation. Another great study tool is the practice test. You and members of your study group can create practice test questions, which should be of the same type as those that will be on the test, whether multiple choice, short answer, or essay questions. Sources for creating practice test questions include the Q column in your Cornell notes, questions at the end of textbook chapters, and previous tests and quizzes. As you can see from the slide, you should try to write the kinds of questions your instructor asks in class on assignments and tests or quizzes you've already taken. Avoid questions that can be answered in one word. Ask questions that require you to apply a concept or give a new example of a principle. The questions you write should require that you think critically about what you have learned, its importance, and its relationship to the other concepts covered by the course. The thinking skills outlined in Bloom's taxonomy can help you write better test questions. Each level has keywords associated with it. You will often find these keywords in the questions your instructors ask on tests and exams. Pause the video for a few minutes and look carefully at the keywords for each level. Your instructors will be focusing on the higher levels of thinking skills in Bloom's taxonomy. Learning the key words can help you to write good practice test questions and to determine how to respond to essay and open book exams. A study group is a great way to prepare for tests, especially if you do a little organizing in advance. Have a brief discussion to decide what each member will do before the meeting. Decide who will cover each chapter or concept, how many practice test questions they should write, and how many copies of materials will be needed. Your purpose might be something like, we are going to review chapters 1 through 4 tonight. Let's begin by exchanging practice test questions, and then when we have finished answering the questions, we'll review the correct responses. The timekeeper should act as a monitor for the practice test, the length of each individual's discussion of his or her assigned topic, or other activities, so that everyone has a chance to participate actively. Remember, active participation aids learning and retrieval of the information. To close, state what went well and also indicate the next step that the group will take. For example, that was a great review of chapters 1 through 4. We all had some difficulty with some of the terms in Bloom's taxonomy, so let's remember to ask Professor Dixon about that at our next class. The best strategy for dealing with test anxiety is to be prepared. If you have followed the study plan just outlined, you will have confidence in what you know, how well you know it, and how to apply it in the test situation. A good night's rest is important. Recent research has shown that during sleep, the brain rids itself of toxic chemicals that can actually interfere with memory. Our brains don't function as well when we are sleep deprived, so don't plan an all-nighter. Be on time for your test. Arriving in a rush at the last minute with your heart pounding and breathing hard puts you in fight or flight mode, which makes you feel even more anxious. Arriving a few minutes early allows you to use a relaxation technique. Try deep breathing or close your eyes and visualize yourself answering the questions on the test correctly. Remind yourself that you are well prepared. As soon as you get your test, turn the paper over and write down the information you are most worried about forgetting. This will help free your mind of anxiety and allow you to think more clearly. Test smart. Preview the test for the number and type of question. Decide how much time you can spend on each section or question. For example, if there are 20 multiple choice questions and 5 short essays, be sure to plan enough time to answer the essay questions after completing the multiple choice. Of course, read and follow all directions carefully and answer every question. But don't let a difficult question ruin your time plan. Skip questions you can't answer immediately and mark them to come back to later. On multiple choice tests, read each question and response completely. If you cannot immediately choose the correct answer, move on to the next question, but mark the difficult question to return to later. Sometimes it helps to read a difficult question and each response choice separately, asking yourself, is this statement true or false? This may help you eliminate incorrect responses. As you move through the subsequent questions, look for information that may help you recall the answer to an earlier question. When taking an essay test, organize your thoughts by jotting down a mini outline or a brief list of the points you want to make in the margins of your blue book. Bloom's taxonomy can help you learn the terms most often used in essay tests and the kind of thinking skill required. Write enough detail to demonstrate that you understand the topic, why it is important, and how it is related to other topics or concepts. Instructors almost always give at least partial credit for a well-written response. So make sure your response is legible and uses the same standards you would use for any college-level writing assignment. Use complete sentences, correct spelling and punctuation, good grammar, and proper usage. Sometimes students think they don't need to prepare for open book exams. However, if you don't prepare, you may find that you waste time flipping through your book or notes to find the material you need. To prepare, review your notes, filling in missing information, highlighting major concepts, numbering details and examples, and writing keywords or questions in the left-hand margin. Review textbook chapters as well. In the margins, add examples or explanations from your class notes and paraphrase the main points. Organize your notes in the textbook chapters by using mini post-it notes or sticky notes to create tabs for different topics. Attach the post-its to the pages so that they look like the tabs of notebook dividers as shown in the slide. Because you can use your book, don't be tempted to copy answers from the book. State all answers in your own words. And keep in mind the higher order skills from Bloom's taxonomy. Apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Before you leave the classroom, review your answers, estimating how many you are sure you answered correctly and how confident you are in this assessment. By doing this as soon as you finish your exam, you will have information that can help you plan how to study for the next test. Later, when you get your test back, analyze your errors to determine why you answered incorrectly. Did you omit material in your review, or misread questions, or confuse concepts? Then, fix up your notes and study review sheets if necessary, so you can use them again for the final exam. If you did not get the grade you expected, make an appointment to meet with your instructor during office hours to review your test, the mistakes you made, and your study strategy. Your professor may have valuable tips to offer. Use what you've learned from these steps to help improve how you prepare for your next test. If you want to do better on tests and quizzes, you will need to practice. There is no time like the present to begin improving your skills. Thank you for listening.